How's everybody doing today? PJ 437 Motorsports. We doing an oil change on the Toyota, the wood getter, retired rock crawler. Just put a set of plugs in yesterday. It's been loading up. Something's wrong with the carburetor, float or something sticking. So I slapped a set of plugs in yesterday real quick to get it back home from down the hill in the mountain where I had to drive it down to get to my other car to go to work. Noticed since it's been running so rich and I don't drive it much, it's probably been a couple years since I changed the oil on it. It smells like it's got a little gas in it from the engine flooding and stuff. So noticed one of the plugs is real oily looking on the number 1 cylinder, so I'm gonna put some engine restore in and hope it seals it up a little bit, but we'll see. And I've had the battery charging all day. It didn't want to start this morning. It was like single digits here, like 2 degrees or something this morning. So it's been on a slow 2 amp charge all day. Hopefully it's good to go when I need it next time. I'm gonna do a time-lapse video once I get under the truck, doing the oil change, draining it and all that. Most everybody knows how that works. And you take your oil plug loose, let the oil drain till it stops, put the plug back in after you clean it up real good, and come up top, take your oil filter off, and put the new one on and fill it back up with oil and check for leaks, and see how this goes. Hopefully I stop some of the smoking it's been doing. All right, so that was a lot liquidier than I expected it to be. And that stuff ran out like water. And right down there is the oil filter. I have to take it off from there, and then you spill oil all over the daggone engine block. But being as it's a beater, I ain't gonna clean it up with so much. All right, so it's the second day I'm trying to do this. I didn't work on it yesterday, which was Friday. Today is Saturday. Still trying to get the oil filter off. I crushed it with the standard style oil filter remover. Tried a screwdriver jabbing through it, didn't work. Smashed up pretty good. I beat on it with a hammer, nothing's worked. So I bought a strap style filter wrench. My brother-in-law told me to try that. That's what he's used when he's run into this issue where they won't come loose. So that's what we'll be trying to do today. I got all the oil drained, which was Thursday when I started the video. So be fighting this filter. As soon as we can get this filter off, I'll be topping it back off with oil and starting it up and checking for leaks and all your standard stuff. So we'll see what we can do here, I guess. Alright, we'll give this my first attempt at trying to use one of these things. Kind of awkward to try to get in here. Hopefully I don't cut my strap where I put the screwdriver through it already. Holy moly, that's all the strength I've got. I don't think it budged. I'm at a loss currently. I don't know what to do. So I'm hoping this one, I reckon you can still see. Trying to get all the way around the back of the lip of the filter where it won't crush. Hopefully it'll bite enough. Maybe it'll spin it loose. So after this, I really don't know what else to do with it. So I tried a pair of large channel locks off camera and my largest pipe wrench, and there's no room to move anything around in there, so neither one of them would work. So I'm gonna go back to beating on it again because I don't know what else to do. I think I'm gonna get pissed off and tear shit up, so I'm trying to avoid that. Alright, so I may feel a little stupid about not trying this earlier. This is how you learn things. Now I don't know if all my beating and banging on it did it or not. I got my normal oil wrench all the way back to the very, very lip where it screws on. And I managed to get it to turn from above. Which is awesome because I was to the point of wanting to shoot stuff. Alright, now that it's off, I'll wipe this flange down and make sure it's clean before I put my new filter on. And with these 22Rs, if you have one, or you ever get one, I know the carbureted ones that do it, but you can take, it's an F-150 oil filter. I believe it's a LF-115, which is a Fisher Auto Parts number, but it's about twice the length as a standard Toyota oil filter. Same threads and everything. My brother-in-law figured this out. He works at Fisher's for a couple other friends of mine. So you can get more filtration and more oil capacity by running that F-150 style. I think it's off of a straight 6. I'm not sure though. I can't remember. That looks good and clean. Alright, so it was a LF-115F. Now they went to a PG-1A4. Get that in there closer, see easy. And those are all the filters that it coincides with. So we got some, I'm gonna run some Valvoline I had from old build I was gonna do and never got around to for old Chevy. And you want to take a little bit of oil, get that gasket moist, motor oil, so it seals good. And also another tip, when you do take your oil filter off, always make sure that the gasket came with it, because if you get a double gasket on there, it won't seal. And nobody wants to end up with oil leaks. And I always like to put a little bit on the threads too. Never hurts to have lubricant everywhere you need it. Snug it by hand. If tight as you can get it by hand, sometimes it's good. Excuse me, but I always like to just put a little extra on it. A couple little easy turns with the wrench. Oops. And that should do that. Then you know it's tight and it'll stay. Alright, so I'm going to put 2 quarts of regular motor oil in. And then I'm going to put the Restore in and then top it off with motor oil. That way the Restore can mix into the engine oil. But to be honest, I probably should just put it in and let the be right on the bottom where the pickup can pick it up. That way it gets full strength as much as possible throughout the engine, since it is smoking now. Since I think I wore the rings out. Now I'm just going to do 1 quart and then the Restore. Shake well before using. Shake, shake, shake. I don't know if this stuff even works or not, but it's worth a try. If you have used it and noticed that it does work, drop a comment below. Let me know what your results were. And if you've used a different product and you had good success with it, drop that in the comments below also. It's pretty and blue. I'm gonna let that drain for a little bit. Try to get all I can in there, and then I'll come back and put the rest of the oil in. Alright, and just like that, 4 quarts of oil are in, plus the restore, and we're going to check it, see where our level's at. It's in the marks. Start it up, let it run for a few seconds to get all the oil circulated, and fill the filter. Check it again and see where we're at from there. So it looks to be way above the full. I think we're good right there. So start it up and see where it goes down to. I'm not seeing anything leaking anywhere, so that's a good sign. And just a piece of advice. If you ever put Lucas in something, only put the recommended amount. Do not overdo it during the winter. Because if you heard this thing when it fired up and it sounds awful, that is why. I got the bright idea to put 2 quarts of Lucas synthetic, not synthetic, I'm sorry, the regular additive in it, the real thick stuff. And it got real cold, down below freezing. And I started this thing up, and it took about 20 seconds to get oil pressure. Trying to pull that stuff through the oil pump. And ever since then, it sounds bad when it's really cold. Yeah. Still got some dirty oil in it through the motor. It's expected, but I can see through it. And it's right at the full mark. And right up there. Right there around the full mark, which is right there. We're good to go. And hopefully that restore will help seal up any scars in the cylinders from me running it so long without doing an oil change. It's always had good oil pressure. It's sitting there idling with fresh oil in it. It's just above 60 psi oil pressure. So it was starting to get down before I changed it. The oil pressure was dropping at idle when it was hot. Up to temperature, it was getting down around the 20s and less. So I knew it was starting to get time to change it. But under power and running it, it was 40 psi or more. So I never had a complete drop out of oil pressure, which is a plus. For being thin as that oil was, I'm surprised, because I mean, it was like pouring water out of a cup. I almost wish I wouldn't have time-lapsed it and would have just done a regular recording so you could have seen exactly how fast that stuff came out. But so far, everything looks good. Yeah, it's just a little video oil change. I mean, pretty much most everybody automotive-wise knows how to do these things. But the weather has been really cold up here and crappy and muddy. It was frozen. Finally getting time to do something that's video oriented, and took advantage of it while I could. So I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, please. That helps me get my stuff out there and get seen, get more views, hopefully some more subscribers. Count's kind of slow. I'd like to get it up, so I'm gonna try to get as many videos as I can out, like once a week or every other week or something, whatever I can come up with. It might not be much, but it'll be something. But I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Have a good day.